Same builder, same price point, only 5 miles apart. One charges you $3,200 a year forever, and the other charges you zero. And if you're house hunting in St. Johns County right now, that last line item could cost you $80,000 over the life of your loan. And most buyers don't even know that it's part of the equation. Today, I'm breaking down CDD fees in St. Johns County, what they are, who pays them, why Nocatee charges them, why SilverLeaf doesn't, and exactly how to use that information when you're picking your next home. I'm Austin Pryke, a realtor here in Jacksonville and St. Johns County, and I walk buyers through this exact decision every single week, usually right after they've fallen in love with a Nocatee floor plan and are trying to figure out why the monthly payment doesn't match the calculator on Zillow. By the end of this video, you'll know what a CDD actually is, you'll know which St. John's communities have one and which ones don't. And you'll know how to read a listing so the number never sneaks up on you at closing. So let's start with the basics. A CDD stands for a Community Development District. When a developer wants to build a master plan community out in the middle of nowhere, Nocatee, for instance, back in the early 2000s, they have to pay for the roads and the water and the sewers and the parks and the gates, all that stuff. And it's tens of millions of dollars before a single house even sells. Instead of fronting all that capital and folding it into the home price, Florida lets them set up a CDD. The CDD borrows money in the form of municipal bonds. It builds the infrastructure, and then every homeowner inside that district pays an annual assessment to chip in for two things: the bond itself and ongoing operations. Depending on the village, that's running anywhere from $1,800 to $3,200 a year, maybe a little more depending on the lot size. And here's the part that a lot of buyers miss. The bond piece can eventually get paid off, usually in 20 to 30 years. But the operations and maintenance piece never goes away. As long as you own that house, you're going to keep paying on that portion. So here's where it gets interesting. SilverLeaf, just down the road off County Road 16 and 210, has no CDD, none. Same school district, same general price band, similar amenities, splash park, pickleball, pools, all that stuff, but no CDD assessment line on your tax bill. So why? It's not magic, it's different. It's a different financing model. Hudson Company, the developer of SilverLeaf, chose to fold their infrastructure costs into the lot prices and the homeowners association rather than set up a community development district. SilverLeaf does have a master HOA, and then each neighborhood carries its own smaller HOA on top of that. So it's not a zero carrying cost, but for most buyers, the combined total still comes in well under what a CDD community runs. Same dollars, just sourced differently. And without the bond component that could stretch 20 to 30 years before it's paid off, honestly, for most buyers, that math comes out cleaner because an HOA payment doesn't compound the same way that a CD bond maintenance does. And there's no surprise lurking in your escrow account come November. Now, the one nobody tells you about, the CDD doesn't just affect your monthly payment, it affects how a lender qualifies you. Because the CDD shows up on your property tax bill and your property tax flows through the escrow, that $3,200 a year gets baked straight into your debt to income ratio. So on a $600,000 home with a 7% rate, that fee can knock about $40,000 off the mortgage that you qualify for. So the same buyer with the same income and the same down payment can buy a bigger, newer house in SilverLeaf than they can in Nocatee, purely because of the CDD math. That's not a hot take, that's just how the lender ratios work. And it's the single biggest reason that I'm having more buyers cross the parkway and at least give a look to SilverLeaf this year than I did even 6 months ago. So let's recap. A CDD is the developer's way of paying for roads and pipes and amenities, and you pay it on your tax bill every single year. Nocatee, Shearwater, Rivertown, Beacon Lake, Beach Walk, Creekside, they all have one. SilverLeaf doesn't because Hudson chose a different funding model. And the difference isn't just on your monthly payment, it's in how much house you can actually qualify for. If you want to know exactly what the CDD is on a specific home, or you're trying to compare two communities side by side, text me and I'll send you my full St. John's community breakdown. Every neighborhood, every CDD amount, every HOA side by side, no fluff. I'm Austin Prike in Jacksonville and St. Johns County. Let's go.